Well, a lot of people are facing challenges. A lot of people are very hard on themselves. A lot of people think there's something wrong with them. My fundamental understanding and what I've learned is that underneath, there's nothing wrong with anybody, that everything you're dealing with came along for a reason. There were adaptations or there were responses to difficult situations. And the more you can understand where your issues came from, and even when your negative self-view and the shame and the self-loathing and the self-criticism and the perfectionism that you experience, that there were actually responses to some kind of life experience, and that fundamentally there was and there is nothing wrong with you, and those things can be looked at, and you can understand them, and you can transform that and really become yourself, who you are. That's available to you. It's available to everybody. So nobody's damaged goods.
What have you learned about how childhood experiences shape who we become as adults?
They're largely decisive. And this begins even before birth. So already the emotional states of the mother while carrying the baby will affect the child's brain development. We're talking about the stress is acting on the pregnant woman. That's no fault of her own. But speaking of stress, when people are stressed, they release stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. When the mother is stressed in pregnancy, those stress hormones go through the placenta, the umbilical cord to the baby. That affects the child's nervous system and his development. Cortisol has a huge impact on the development of important brain circuits. You can look at the heart rate of infants in the womb as it changes as the mother's more or less stressed. So these are just physiological facts. So there was a study done after 9/11, after the tragedy of 9/11, women who were pregnant then and who suffered post-traumatic stress disorder in the third trimester of pregnancy as a result of 9/11, their infants had abnormal stress hormone levels a year later. Now, abnormal stress hormone levels have an impact on brain development and on physiology, and physiological health as well. So you can expect those kids, unless something's done to correct it, to face more challenges later on. And we know that mothers who are stressed during pregnancy, depressed during pregnancy, their children are more likely to have ADHD, attention deficit disorder, or other mental health challenges.